Okay, so today we're going to start with the concept of molarity. All right. What do you notice about the word molarity?
It has mole.
It has mole in it, right? So it's a good thing we learned about moles, right? So we can do this. All right. Now, have you ever tried orange juice before?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's good. When you drink it, it tastes like orange. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's good. What's the difference between the taste between these two?
Concentrated.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So now you're using some good words, right? Concentrated, not as concentrated. What's the opposite of concentrated?
Diluted.
Yeah, if you dilute it, exactly. So you get this here. How did we dilute it? How do we do that?
By adding
Added some water to it. Yeah, so you basically know this whole chapter. That's great. All right, let's just take the quiz tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you understand that concept though, right? This is concentrated, this is diluted, all right? Because you added the amount of water to it. So molarity is basically a way to add numbers to that. Because if you kind of talk about it being diluted versus concentrated, those are qualitative ways of talking about it, right? There's no numbers. It doesn't say how concentrated it is. It doesn't say how dilute that is, right? But by changing the amount of water in it, we're changing not only the taste, but kind of like how it works as far as orange juice goes. Okay, so compare the orange juice. We got that. We talked about it being diluted. They both have the same amount of orange in them, right? Because whatever that is, well, it's all the I guess proteins and sugars and the coloring, all of that. That's the same between this one and this one. The only difference is the amount of water you have in there, right? And everybody's like, yeah, I get this, no big deal. Cool? Okay, awesome. That's what we're gonna do with this chapter. This is the amount of stuff in it, the orange, and then the water is kind of the part where you're dissolving it in. All right, so let's check. So molarity, its symbol is a big M. All right, so whenever you see big M, you think of molarity. But what does it actually mean, chemically speaking? Well, it's the solute over the solvent. All right. In our orange juice example, what is the solute? Yeah, whatever that orange is, right? So we have the orange. And then what's the solvent?
Water.
Yeah, exactly. Our water is going to be our solvent. Okay. Now, when we're doing this in chemistry and chemically and whatnot, we're going to use certain units for it. And it's moles divided by liters. The moles is the solute, all right? Because usually the solute is going to be a solid, all right? So we'll figure it out in grams and then convert it to moles. And then the solvent is usually going to be a liquid, and that's why we'll talk about it in liters, all right? Doesn't have to be, but this year we're just going to keep it simple and just keep it in there, all right? And notice that this is the first time this year we've seen something made up of two units, moles and liters, all right? Which means if you had something that's 1 molar, you would say, it would be 1 mole over liters. Just like before, we would talk about something being 1 gram, right? But now it's something that has 2 units in it, which makes things a little bit more complicated, all right? Everybody okay so far on this? Yeah? Okay. Which one would be more concentrated? The 1 molar solution or the 0.5 molar solution? Which is the bigger number? 1, yeah, so that would be more concentrated, all right? This is the more concentrated one. This is less concentrated. What did we have to do to get this one? Add more water, all right? So that's kind of all this chapter is about. It's how much water are you adding to it to change the concentrations, all right? Everybody okay? All right, so. Okay, so in molarity problems, you'll be given 2 out of the 3 variables. Here are the 3 variables. All right, so you have that packet open, right? We're still on that one sheet, though. Take a look at that one sheet. This is on there. I see that packet open. All right. The 3 variables are the mass, which is your solute, the volume, which is your solvent, and then molarity, which is both of those. It's the ratio of the 2 of them. All right. So when you're talking about mass, you may be given it in grams or moles. To use this, you have to convert it to moles, right? Because it's molarity, all right? Volume, they could give it to you in milliliters or liters. Either way, you need to convert it into liters, okay? So to use this stuff, we need it to be in moles per liter because that's what molarity is all about, all right? So this is moles per liter. These are 3 ways you can write it written out, kind of like on, when you're typing it up, it could look like this. Or if you're handwriting it, it's a really good idea to write it in moles and then the line and then liters, all right? Because we're going to be using dimensional analysis with this. And this now has 2 dimensions to it, right? It has a top number and a bottom number. All right, or a top unit and a bottom unit.